Alrighty, we are back, still fighting through a little bit of my voice sounding different with this little sickness we're dealing with here, but we should be able to truck on here and get this video done. What am I going to be talking about today? Today I'm going to be talking about my 10 favorite releases of 2024, the units that I like the most, right? This has nothing to do with individual performance, i.e. this character is better than that character. This mainly has to do with my character biases and stuff like that. And also, was the character designed well, or are they fun to use, right? Are they extremely frustrating? Stuff like that. Characters that were well done, right? This doesn't, like I said, this is not an objective ranking of like a character at 2 is better than the character at 10, right? This is all just about how much fun I have using the characters. But let's go ahead and get into today's list. So down below in the comment section below, let me know what your 10 favorite releases this year were, or who your favorite character release this year was. So let's get into number 10, and that is going to be the Super Saiyan Trio from the Worldwide Download Celebration. The Super Saiyan Trio. I think that from a fun standpoint, this is just one of those characters where it's impressive, right, with how well they did them, right? I think that the support that they are providing for the team and the abilities that you have where they can be slot 2, they can be slot 1 at times, is just really impressive. I am a huge fan of this character's design, and I hope that characters in the future continue to fall down this trend of support of the team where you can get a facelift for a lot of old units that potentially could look a little bit better, right? You think about a character like the AGL Super Saiyan duo from the Metal Cooler movie, obviously a disappointing release when they came out, but with the release of the Super Saiyan Trio, they were able to look a decent bit better. They were able to be a little bit more respectable, not to a point where you're like, oh my god, this character's back there, top 1 or anything like that, but a lot better. But with the standby mechanic these guys are offering and the support that they are bringing, I think they are extremely fun release and overall deserve a spot on this list. So that is why I have them at number 10, the Super Saiyan Trio, a very fun unit. Let's go ahead and get into number 9, and that is going to be LR Cell Max. Now, with LR Cell Max, this is an extremely fun unit to use. Offensively, they're hitting like a Mack truck, a runaway freight train that's sliding off the rails, right? This is a character who is doing so much damage at times, and defensively, they can have like the highest defensive stat in the game with their taunt turn, right? With that taunt, this character is unkillable. There's nothing getting through that barrier that Cell Max is providing with that 8 to 9 million defensive stat and stuff like that, even higher when you're at like the rainbow level. At like the bare minimum of 55% where I have this character, I'm still easily seeing 6 million, 7 million, 8 million on that taunt turn. So offensively, defensively, this character is bringing it. They are packing a punch here. Now, I will say that in terms of like, what really kind of holds this back for me is I am not the biggest fan of the Cell Max design. It's grown on me over time, but with the return of Cell, I kind of wish he would have been a little bit more witty and cunning like the Cell from Dragon Ball Z was, right? That's kind of what made people fall in love with the character, the way that he acted and stuff like that. But I do understand that for like a world-ending kind of boss for a movie, I do understand why they went with the choice that they did. He still looks fine the way he is, but I would have preferred a little bit different. But Cell Max, easily one of my favorite characters this year. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Staying in the realm of the super bosses, we have Jiren. Now, Jiren, if you guys don't know, UI Goku versus Jiren is one of my favorite fights in all of Dragon Ball. Really, the kind of main allure to me is the fact that I was able to watch it weekly, where I was a kid when Dragon Ball Z was doing their thing. Not around to watch that weekly. It was a little past my time, or a little before my time, right? So being able to kind of keep up with the Dragon Ball anime as it was dropping week by week was a very special feeling. So I have a lot of nostalgia for Goku, or for UI Goku and Jiren specifically. Yeah, UI Goku's going to be on here, guys. But, you know, this Jiren right here, just an all-around really fun character. Offense, defense, support, all of these different things that he's able to do. We have action break ability, stunning, right? Support when we are in the standby, a slot 1 tank when we're in the standby. It's really a shame we can't stay in the standby, but to me, getting into full power Jiren and ripping off those 50, 60 million attack stats is just a lot of fun, right? That I really do enjoy that about the game. So that is why I have this character where I have them. Easily a nice little spot here for where we have Jiren. So let's go ahead and move on to the next character, which is going to be LR Gogeta Blue from the 9-year anniversary. Now, what I really like about this character right here in specific is the taunt mechanic, right? What they brought to the table. The taunt mechanic is a very unique thing that was new to the game when it came out, right? That was one of the main selling points of the 9th anniversary was this taunt mechanic. And man, oh man, did they implement it well with this Gogeta Blue. I think that the biggest drawback with this Gogeta Blue, with that taunt mechanic, is how far you have to be into the fight in order to get it, where you have to transform in the first place, and then you also have to do a turn in the transformation after. So after you transform, you have to wait for a turn to elapse afterwards, so you're gonna have to wait at least another 2 turns until you can use that taunt again. But the ability to not take any damage whatsoever on a turn is essentially a ghost usher. So as long as there are no AoEs, as long as there are there's nothing like that, then you should be good, right? That is the one main flaw with the taunt mechanic, especially with like a character like this Gogeta Blue here. The main drawback being that AoEs kind of pierce through that, and you guys know how much of a pain AoEs are, especially global players who had to endure the Fusion Zamasu meta a lot longer than JP players did, just with the way that the schedule is released. So Gogeta Blue, a super hype character. You guys, I mean, it's freaking Gogeta Blue, right? So that's why I have him where I have him. But let's get into the only real surprise on this list, in my opinion, and that is going to be Glorio. Now, Glorio, I am a huge fan of this character. I think that the way they designed Glorio was perfect, right? This is literally one of the best releases they've ever done, I think. Maybe that's prisoner of the moment. Maybe that's recency bias. Probably I would stick towards that, right? Where it's like, you know, I just have my head up my ass a bit with just sort of how Daima is right now. But I think if you are going to release a character like Glorio, where, let's be honest, right? And I'm not going to say that Glorio isn't like a cool thing. Like for Daima, I definitely think a release of a Glorio was obviously necessary. But I think when it comes to characters that we want outside of our main cast, I speak for a lot of us when I say that like Dr. Arinsu or Tamagami number 3 specifically are kind of like the characters that we are looking for right now, right? I think Tamagami number 3 has really kind of been a fan favorite so far of Daima, from what I can tell. Like anytime that I talk about Tamagami number 3, it just seems like people are like Fax W, like Tamagoat me number 3, stuff like that. So it is a lot of fun, but I think the way like this being the release for Glorio with this character's kit, like, oh my god, did they nail it, right? Like offensively he's bringing it, defensively he's bringing it. He's just far and away the best TUR in the game, and I think if you're going to do a character like Glorio, that is how you have to do it. Not only is this character bringing it in terms of the offensive and defensive capabilities, guess what? Characters that are on his category, or not his category, but the demonic power category, are literally like back from the dead, and if they were already alive, they're twice as good as they used to be. You go use Beast Gohan on the Glorio team, and you're like, who the hell is this? This is the best unit in the game, and but he's even better. Like, that's literally what this Glorio has done. And overall, I think that is just a super fun way to play the game. Like, being able to kind of revive old characters in a way is just so much freaking fun when it's not an easy A, right? It's not a super easy A. It's not just an easy A that has like flaws in the kit and stuff like that. They literally just get better when you do stuff like this, excuse me. So Glorio really is just kind of packing a punch here, and I am just a really big fan of how they designed this character. I am really surprised with how hard they nailed this Glorio character. Like, just amazing, so much fun to use. Definitely one of my favorite releases of the year. Now, coming in at the next spot here at number 5, I have Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Not too much to talk about with this guy. It's mainly like low-key, why do I love this character? It's his SSR art, man. This is a top 5 art in the game easily. Like, I don't really think there's much of a debate for it. In terms of SSR art, it might be number 1. I don't think that's like a crazy take, right? I think you could easily argue that this is number 1 for SSR arts. It doesn't get much better than this, man. It really doesn't. This is an amazing SSR art. But what do I really like about this character? It's his ability to be that slot 1 turn 1 tank that every team is in desperate need of at almost all times, right? Like, any team benefits from a character like Super Saiyan 3 Goku being around so long as you can fulfill his condition, right? You get that Buu Saga character on the team, you get the extra damage reduction, you put him in slot 1 on turn 1, he's not taking damage, you're good to go for that specific bit. That is why I really like this character. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, with the iconic transformation for Super Saiyan 3 Goku against Fat Buu, absolutely needed this type of justice, because that is a character who was that's a series defining transformation right there, right? The 5-minute scream or whatever they had Shemmel doing, right? It's just insane. I know it's obviously Nozawa originally, but it's a very, very fun character. The way that they're able to counter Ki Blast supers, the guard they have, the damage reduction, the slot 1 utility, the turn 1 utility that this character has is almost unmatched. So definitely one of my favorite releases of the year. Let's get into the big 4 here. Now, Broly was the character I accidentally forgot about, but I knew I wanted to put him in this top 3 to 4 range. So that is why I have him up here at number 3. Excuse me, I kind of messed up my order a little bit. But Broly, right? An unbelievably fun character. Offensively, defensively, this guy is coming to the table and he is putting his nuts on that table. This guy, he's all in. I have so much fun using a character like this, where we have an AoE, like an amazing KO screen, super fun animations, the choice of, do you want to go full defense and support, or do you want to potentially bring out the offense but still have their own defensive utility with the damage reduction that this character has. So much fun. And the Movie Bosses team, the facelift that this team got in 2024 was incredible, right? Janemba's EZA, Cell Max, these versions of Broly, the EZA, the STR Super Broly EZA, Tech Beerus' Super EZA, right? So many different characters. AGL Full Power Broly from the 9th anniversary. The Movie Bosses team just got so many buffs throughout the year, and that's what made it so much fun. So that's why I have this guy up here. He is one of the cornerstones of the Movie Bosses team, and I could definitely not leave the list without it. Like, this made me remember why I love Broly so much, right? Aside from just like the 9th anniversary version, like this is Broly right here. I know that the super version of Broly, right, from Dragon Ball Super is amazing, and I love that character too. But this is Broly right here, man. Like, this is Dragon Ball Super Broly doesn't exist if we don't have this guy. So that is why I have him so high up here. But let's go ahead and move on to the big 2. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys who are watching this video, you think that all this Vilify cat does is glaze Beast Gohan and talk about how he's the greatest thing ever. And guess what? I'm right. Beast Gohan's still the best character in the game. And I'm completely okay with saying that. However, he's not the unit that I like the most this year. But he's number 2. Beast Gohan, a perfect character. Still a 10 out of 10. Offense, defense, team protection. Let me emphasize that again. Team protection with the taunt, right? Key support when getting hit. Everything that you need from this character right here in front of you, everything you need from a Dokkan unit, Beast Gohan's bringing it to the table. The only thing he is not doing is like the utility things of like stunning, stealing, stuff like that. But guess what? If you run a Piccolo on the rotation, you have access to an action break, which is a pseudo sort of stun, right? It's taking away an attack, which sometimes can be a super, sometimes can be an AoE, sometimes can be a heal, right? All important stuff that this character does. Offense, defense, he's bringing it. Hype level, he's bringing it, right? Everything that you ask for from this character, can he do this? The answer, unless it's like a gimmick that they just did not give the character, the answer is yes, because you can't say he has a standby. That's fair, right? You can't say he has a domain. He doesn't, right? But when you're talking about just the individual performance, right? Can he tank? He tanks everything. Can he deal damage? Absolutely. He has very easy access to crits. Can he take away enemies' attacks? He has an action break. Can he protect the team? He has the taunt mechanic. Can he provide support? He's giving crit chance. He's giving key when he gets hit, right? This guy is doing a little bit of everything, and I think that overall, this is still easily the best character in the, maybe not easily, but it's still, in my opinion, the best character in the game. Is that going to change in 4 weeks? Probably, but who knows? right? So that is why I have this Beast Gohan up here. Number 2, one of my favorite releases of all time easily, but unfortunately he did not get the number 1 spot. And you guys probably know, if you know me personally, you know who number 1's gonna be, but UI Goku. Tech Ultra Instinct Goku, easily. UI Goku is my favorite version of Goku in Dragon Ball, so that is why he is number 1. The domain, the ability that this guy has with his domain, that turn, especially the first turn of it, to me is so much fun. Just the guaranteed dodges, the counters, the support that this guy brings to the table, the way that he makes the 6-year anniversary EZAs look so damn good, right? The way he is so damn good, the damage that he is doing on these counters, the leader skill that he's providing, and just the overall aesthetics of the unit. This is literally, this for me, this is it. And guess what? I didn't pull him on my main account, man. It's so tragic, but it is what it is. But this is easily my favorite release of 2024. Not going to talk about it too much. Let me know down below what your guys' list is, right? I think this was fun to make. If you guys want to see a most disliked version for 2024, let me know in the comment section below. But I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Don't forget to leave a like if you did, subscribe if you were new, and I'll see you all in the next one.